just woke up, and this morning I'm going to talk about dependencies. That was my thoughts this morning. Okay, so I have a long history of dependency. Yeah, as many of you know, I have been a heroin addict from 15 to 20. And before that, I was very dependent on my family's acceptance of me, because I was the weird one. I was the black sheep. My mother used to tell me that you're aggressive, you're impulsive, you're so that's, yeah, it started already from my childhood, the stigma, and therefore I was craving for my dad's attention, for my mum's attention. My mum used to take care a lot of my little sister, so since my little sister was born, so I was like sort of craving for attention, and that was my dependency on other people's attention, other people's gazes. I wanted people to look at me, and therefore my exhibitionism has always been my need, or now it's my interest, but it's also a need of being seen. Anyway, after my drug addiction, I stopped that. Actually, I stopped because my father told me that he didn't want to see me anymore if I didn't stop drugs. And therefore, that was my dependency on their gaze. And then dependency on my first husband, of course. And I had to quit him in order to just stop that dependency and start a process of my own self-esteem on my own, and which was very hard. It was really hard. But eventually, thanks to psychotherapy and thanks to photography. So the fact that I have created the self-portrait is, I have created SPEX, that's because of my dependency. So it was like, in order not to depend from other people's gazes, I created my own gaze. And so SPEX is the source of my independence. Of course, then one could say that I was dependent on, or I am dependent on SPEX and on the camera gazing, looking at me, and then exposing myself to the public. Yes, but, well, okay, I think that dependency, the tendency for dependency cannot be completely eliminated. It cannot be completely deleted. It cannot be completely avoided. We are codependent. But the thing is that, yeah, I mean, I think problems don't really get solved completely. Yeah. The point is, if we can actually transform them into something. And therefore, I believe that my dependency on people's gazes, which now I transform into SPEX, can also be useful for other people, and can also be, dependency can be good when you question yourself, when this dependency allows you to question yourself. And therefore I might be considered a workaholic because I'm devoted, totally devoted to my mission and to my work. But at the same time, my work constantly puts me into difficult situations and puts me in a situation in which I can look at my shit and my vulnerability and face it. So I might define dependency like the real dependency, not the real dependency, but the problem with dependency or pathological dependency comes when you're escaping from something, yeah? So heroin was escaping from pain. And the dependency with my husband was escaping from myself and from my my shit and my vulnerability, although I was feeling it, but it was like leaning onto somebody and escaping from all the rest of the process that I had to do. Of course, it would be a challenge not having this gaze, and it is a challenge now in confinement not to have the gaze, but I do have the gaze exposing myself, and that's why I am so much on Facebook and I am so much on YouTube, and therefore I need people's gazes, yeah. But of course I spend a long time working. And about the, okay, on Facebook I'm posting constantly my meals, and I built these photographs. I build the meals themselves for the photographs for Facebook. So that is showing another of my dependencies on people's acceptance or people's applause or people's likes. At the same time, this dependency is allowing me or is stimulating me to take care of myself more and to build beautiful, beautiful meals for myself. So that's the interesting point, when dependency can be transformed into a resource. So this is why when I talk about SPEX, about my method, I say it's transforming shit into diamonds. So this is the same thing. It's like this dependency becomes a source of taking care of myself, you know. So it's a total transformation of shit into diamonds, yeah.